G'day there guys, my parents always told me, Markee, you're gonna hate yourself in the morning if you stay up so late. Joke's on them, I'm gonna hate myself regardless. Welcome back to another episode of r/AmiTheA. I'm your host Markee, I hope you have a good stay. Sit back, relax, chuck a prawn on the barbie, and enjoy this bloody good content. Posted by user TA Frustration Nation. Titled, Am I the a-hole for expecting my kids to attend all family holidays? I, 52 male, never had a big family unit growing up. My dad bailed when I was a baby, and it was just my mum and I after that. I was often jealous of my friends who would have a big family celebrations. My wife and I have 3 children, Alice, Jeff, and Kevin. Fake names. I always thought my kids would spend all the holidays with us because I always stressed how important it was to me to have them all home with me. I did a Zoom call with the 3 yesterday, and they broke the news to me that none of them would be coming home for Thanksgiving. I got upset, and Alice interrupted me to remind me that she and Jeff worked in the fields, and that they would sometimes have to work holidays. She's an X-ray technician in a hospital, and Jeff is a dispatcher for 911. And that she was married now, and she knew I wanted us all home for every holiday, but that just wasn't realistic. I asked Kevin what his excuse was, and he said he was going to stay with his girlfriend because she just had surgery and he wanted to care for her. I said they needed to get their priorities straight, and they knew it was important to their mother and I that they attend. Jeff said that my wife understood, and I was the one who constantly tried to guilt-trip them into rearranging their lives to make me happy, and he hated that I refused to let them live their lives without trying to guilt-trip them into doing what I want. Alice said it wasn't up for discussion, and I could either accept they wouldn't always be there, or I could celebrate without her from here on out because she was done dealing with me trying to make her feel guilty for having a life. They disconnected after that. I am very upset, and think I deserve more respect than this. But my wife says it's unreasonable to think the kids would always come home, and just because I wanted something didn't mean it was going to happen, and I needed to stop acting like an a-hole to get my way. I don't think I am, but I'll put it out here. Am I the a-hole for wanting my children home for the holidays? I think this is a very unique time in the world, and I think it's a very good time to not have all the family home for the holidays. You don't want to be going spreading anything that you'd regret later. And then times where this isn't going on in the world, I think they're adults and they can choose whether they would like to come home for the holidays or not. And you can't guilt-trip them into doing that and be mad when they say no. They are very much grown and they have their own lives now. If they can't or don't want to make it, I wouldn't press the issue with them because it just comes off badly from you. Yes, you've got abandonment issues from your childhood. They suck, but you're also an adult, and you have your own life and priorities, and they do too. You can't control what happens, but you can control how you react to it. And your reaction in these situations is childish and petty. Yes, it's an emotional response triggered by a history of you not having what you wanted to have as a child, but I assume you've had almost 30 years of having holidays with everyone at home. If you love them, let them go, and let them come on their own time. Stop being so pushy. You're the a-hole. You're the a-hole. First of all, nobody should be traveling right now, period. Second of all, your children don't hate you if they don't want to spend a holiday with you. They are adults with jobs and lives. It sucks, but part of being a parent is letting your children grow up sometimes. They're not cutting you off forever. Also, guilting your children is a fast track to not ever celebrating holidays together again. Sounds like this is not the first time they've had to deal with you guilting them. Time to work on that. Also, it's a pandemic. Good for your kids for staying home, you're the a-hole. The entire quote from Alice saying it wasn't up for discussion, and that they're trying to make her feel guilty for having a life. Sounds like dad's always guilting the kids. Alice wouldn't have been so clear about how she's hit the end of her rope otherwise. Opie, this stood out for me. I deserve more respect than this. Because here's the thing. Respect does not mean I always get what I want from grown adults because they were once children. Respect is an act of courtesy and consideration given to someone who has earned your esteem through their outstanding character or deeds. But I want you to drop everything on my say-so. Does not apply to respect. You have demonstrated a flagrant lack of respect towards your adult children. You can always apologize, but you are not the wronged party here. So stop acting like it. You're the a-hole. You're the a-hole. So their spouses should never get to see their families for holidays? Or when they have their own kids, those kids should get to enjoy some holidays, especially Christmas in their own home. This is my question. I totally understand wanting family togetherness, but I can't stand people who feel entitled to every holiday without regard for their child's partner's family. My dad's side of the family is quite large. My grandparents realized early on that it was unreasonable to expect the kids to be around for Christmas, as they got married and had their own families. Instead, they would do a big family Christmas a few weeks later in January when people would be more available and not have to try to cram in multiple family visits on Christmas. There would be a couple Christmases we would be there for the actual holiday, but it was never expected. Posted by user A Bunch of Numbers. Titled, Am I the a-hole for demanding to be in the delivery room when my future daughter-in-law gives birth? I'll just explain this situation real quickly. My son and his fiancée are expecting a baby boy. Clearly, it wasn't planned. My son told me privately that he wasn't ready to be a dad, especially since he wanted to get married first, finish college, then think about kids. But his fiancée insisted on going through with the pregnancy. She too is a college student and has no income. I found myself already paying for the nursery, clothes, and essential stuff the baby will need, and I was told to step in since he's my grandbaby. Plus, having to pay for her vitamins and doctor's appointments / food, etc. While my son has been focusing on studying, he kept telling me to do things on his behalf since he was busy. I honestly felt worried the baby won't get the attention and care he needed with my son's behavior. After talking to my son, he said it was okay for me to be present in the delivery room with his fiancée to welcome my grandbaby and also support her. I thought we were on good terms, till she blew up on me when I brought it up to her, saying no, she doesn't want me there and wants my son instead. I was upset with how she was behaving, especially after everything I've done. I think I deserved some respect and my voice to be heard, but she kept lashing out at me when I told her I had the rights and demanded to be present in the delivery room. She then went to my son and started yelling at him, calling him immature and selfish, and doesn't deserve to be a dad since he wasn't interested like he's interested in his study. Yeah, I'm gonna go with you're the a-hole for this one. I think with the current rules, you can still only have one person in there with you for the delivery of the baby. The world continues to be in a bad state, and you continue to put bad energy out into it, demanding to be in the delivery room when it's obvious she doesn't want you there, and it's her choice who she gets in there. You can't be mad that she doesn't choose you. I honestly think she just has two terrible choices in this situation because the son doesn't want to be a dad either, and she doesn't want you in there. There really is no winning for her in this situation. You refuse to see that, you refuse to admit that, and the son refuses to step up. I wouldn't be surprised if she just up and disappeared from your lives after this. You're the a-hole. You're the a-hole. You've given birth before. You know how intimate and scary it can be. Support the mum in her choices. Edit. I get the confusion and can see where you felt like you're not being appreciated, but the minute you were told no, you should have stopped and accepted. Quote, my son said it was okay, end quote. Plus this, it's not the son's call at all. There's a big difference between getting to grandma and getting a front row seat to someone's nether regions. Boundaries, woman, boundaries. You're the a-hole and ew. This. Son has no say. Son is passing the buck to mum and handing off his responsibility to her. That doesn't mean the seemingly abandoned partner wants mum to replace him in the delivery room or period. It just means she's in a tough spot. Any woman who has given birth should know better than this. Really hope it's fake? You so are the a-hole. You're the a-hole. The person giving birth decides who is in the delivery room, period. If you do not want to contribute financially to your grandchild's life, then set some boundaries. Buying things for them does not mean you are entitled to butt into their private lives. It is not a good sign that your son agreed to let you in the delivery room. That was not his choice to make. He is very, very young to be a parent. If you want to have a good relationship with them going forward, you need to respect them and their choices. Posted by user Just Anonym Wolf. Titled, Am I the a-hole for deciding that I won't give any Christmas presents this year after my mum cancelled a transaction on my card? I'm still angry over this, and I may not write very well. And also, I probably don't judge the situation very well being this angry, so I came to you. I'm a student. I have a student bank account where my college gives me money for transport, when we had physical classes, or scholarship. These kind of bank accounts have no fees, but are age restricted. Can't have one if you're over 25 and need an overseer. When I asked the bank about it, they told me it's just a security thing. So I chose Mum because she's more tech-savvy than my dad. Well, through some incredible luck, I managed to get only top grades last year, so I was awarded a study scholarship. Great! I've been saving it up and looking forward to worldwide Black Friday, eyeing an amazing drawing tablet. I do digital art on very old intros. The tablet I was eyeing is as big as my monitor, is a display one, and all around amazing. Black Friday rolls in, and Amazon Germany, closest to me, has it in stock at an amazing price. A price I could afford. I was so damn happy, I ordered it. Then I got a notice that the bank refused the card. I emailed Amazon, their customer service is so fast, and we went over the card details and such, making sure that it was all right. It was, and they advised me to call my bank. It was odd. I had bought things online in the past with this card, and it went through. I had enough money for it, even extra, so I thought maybe they had technical difficulties. But it was too late in the day to call, and they don't work weekends, so I left an email. Only to find out today that for big transactions, they ask for an agreement from the overseer and that mine cancelled the transfer. I was like, WTF? And confronted Mum about it, who throughout the weekend acted oblivious, and she told me that of course she couldn't let me throw money away on something I don't need, and that I wouldn't have money for Christmas presents if I bought that. Then she had the audacity to ask me what I was planning to get my family this year. I told her that they won't get anything more than a bread shadow from me, and I went to my room and cried on the carpet. I missed out on the offer, I can't afford the tablet anymore, and it's all because Mum wanted Christmas gifts. And no, I won't get her anything. Last year, she got me a blouse too small for me that she later took for herself. She can gift herself this year too. Bread shadow is an expression for nothing in my language. Yeah, I'm gonna go with not the a-hole for this one. That was a real dick move on her part to block the transaction and then act like she doesn't know what you're talking about the entire weekend. Pretty much terrible parenting on her behalf to do that to you, and that's a huge break of trust. There's really no other words for it. I don't think you not buying them Christmas presents is a dick move on your behalf. I think it's warranted in this situation, and, more power to you. Not the a-hole. Not the a-hole. I might have some sympathy for your mother if she vetoed the transaction because she was concerned that you won't be able to afford things you needed. But it was incredibly selfish of her to veto a purchase because she wanted the money to be spent on Christmas gifts instead. Does your mother have form for buying gifts for you that are really for her? The blouse that doesn't fit seems like a classic case of that, given that if it was a genuine mistake, one would expect that she would give you a gift receipt so you could exchange it for something that fit and that you liked, rather than commandeering it for herself. And OP replies, well, I can't think of something she got me that hasn't become hers after the holidays, only if it was something from them both, Mum and Dad that was left for me. Like the RC helicopter from 2 years ago. Maybe I'm an adult now, but Dad knew I'll have a lot of fun with it. And of course, Mum doesn't care about toys. Not the a-hole, I would change the overseer on your account as well. I'm going to change it to Dad as soon as I'm able to. I would see if you can get rid of the overseer altogether. If you're over 18, there is no need to have someone else on your account. It's more of a security risk having someone else on the account, and you don't need their permission to spend. Posted by user AffectionateEmu8879. Titled, Am I the a-hole for giving my daughter the larger room when her stepsisters share a room? When I first moved out of my parents' house into my own apartment, I bought myself a decent queen-sized bedroom set. Wooden bed frame with a headboard, dresser, 2 nightstands, a storage ottoman, a vanity table, and a bookcase. I bought decent quality stuff so that it would last, and it has. When I moved in with my now husband, we had to get a larger bed anyway, and he wanted fresh stuff. So there was the question of what to do with my furniture. My daughter was turning 4 and was starting to grow out of her crib/toddler bed anyway, so I arranged it in what would be her room and moved her out of her crib to that. There was only one room aside from the master that would fit the set, so she ended up with the larger of the 2 upstairs bedrooms. My husband's 2 older daughters would be sharing a room, and the even smaller bedroom off of the finished basement would be a guest room and office. Since the 3rd upstairs room is smaller, we have bunk beds in there to save space. The girls have now seen that my daughter not only has a bigger room, but has grown-up furniture, and they and their mother are launching accusations of favoritism. This just isn't true. They are adamant that we should at the very least be putting in a twin-sized bed instead of having one child be a literal queen with a larger bed, or even throw out an entire set of furniture to move her into the smaller room, and have the 2 older girls share the larger room. That's so expensive and wasteful, and I just don't see the point. 1. They're only here 50% of the time. I don't see the point of dedicating the larger bedroom or 2 separate bedrooms to kids who are only here half of the time. 2. This furniture wasn't bought specifically for her, and this is the only bedroom it would fit in with space to walk around. It literally has to go in this room or be thrown away. And 3, while it is more adult, she will be able to grow into it instead of us constantly having to update furniture as she grows out of it. The furniture is also less than 7 years old, so throwing it away would also be wasteful. Am I just seeing this wrong? My daughter's father, the only other person IRL this has been discussed with yet, and I were both only children. But even still, throwing away perfectly fine furniture because of perception would just not happen. It's just a bedroom set. I don't know what planet you're living on, but it's clear that you're the a-hole in this situation. I don't know how you're trying to convince yourself this is an okay thing to do. I don't know why you're convinced it's going to be so costly, like changing everything up and you have to throw away this furniture. I'm sure there's ways you could arrange it having the 2 in that bigger room and not throwing away any furniture and finding a good compromise. Literal grasping for straws, stupid strawman arguments that holds no water. I don't respect that, you're the a-hole, just fix the situation already and make everyone else happy. You're the a-hole. You gave a queen bed set to a 4-year-old, while 2 older, presumably larger children, are sharing a smaller room with twin beds? You're the a-hole. Doesn't matter if they're only here half the time. That's still a lot of time, and you are clearly showing favoritism, even if you aren't doing so intentionally. Either sell the queen bed set, or make the queen bed the guest room, and move your daughter into the smallest room with a twin bed. Since she is the smallest, it is unfair to give her even more space than 2 larger children. Plus, a lot of kids who split time end up feeling like they don't really have a home because they get downgraded because they're only there half the time. Half the time in both places, with less than ideal conditions, means full-time not wanted. This. My hubby and I bought a mobile home. When we bought it, the people living there had 3 kids, 2 teenage boys and a teenage girl. It's a 2-bedroom home. The parents lived in the master. The boys shared the other bedroom. The father built a bedroom off of the kitchen for the daughter, who was here part-time since she was only his. It is a literal pantry. Her twin-size bed fit and nothing else. Couldn't even walk around the bed. When kids have split custody and both parents have this attitude of they don't need XXX because they're only here 50% of the time, then they never get XXX and never get what they need. Alright, I think that's where I'm going to end today's video, guys. I do hope you enjoyed it. As always, I want to do a huge shout out to all my channel members and Patreon subscribers. You should be up on the screen now. I love you all, and I think every single one of you are amazing for supporting the channel in the way that you do. Again, thank you so much for supporting me. And again, if you did enjoy today's video, please do tell me what you thought of it down in the comments below. All of your hot takes, opinions, whatever you think, really, whatever's going on in your life right now, I'd love to hear down in the comments below. Before I leave, I'd also like to announce that I'm going to start doing meme content again on the second channel. I know it's been a while, so click on the Markee head on the screen without the Australian flag behind him if you want to go see some memes. And as always, guys, have a good day, night, sleep, whatever you're up to, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.